Hi guys, welcome back to Cadwell Park for part 2 of our R1 project build. We had a cracking time last time out. In case you missed what happened, click on this link here and you'll be able to see exactly everything that we covered, all the basics, taking that R1 and making it better through all the small but necessary changes. Today, we're going to be ticking off handling, braking and any weight saving we can do to it. So as I've mentioned, Chris has been busy in that workshop, so let's have a catch up with him now to see exactly what he's been up to.
Since last time, we've had the bike back up at the Fleetwood workshop to try and shed a bit of weight. Done this by filling this lovely grey box. Mirrors, fitted now GYTR mirror blanks, quite nice. Footrests, obviously we've not gone to the Yamaha kit footrests. ABS pump, which was an issue with Tara and Bruce, gone. Along with that comes a whole host of lines. Been replaced now with some Hell lines. Horn, number plate, all gone. All in all, we've saved roughly 6.5 kilos. One of the heaviest items on the bike that we have not swapped, but are going to in the future, is the exhaust, which in standard form with all the cats, it's quite a good saving. The main reason we're saving this weight is obviously a lighter bike, it's more nimble, accelerates faster, brakes easier. So it's all round, it's the way forward.
So that's where we're at. The bike's ready, I'm ready, the track's nice and dry. I brought my mate with me, Taz is here, and he's raring to go. So the bad news is it's lashing it down. The good news is we've just finished off another cracking day with the R1. We've put on some great parts, we've finally got the bike handling how we want it to, stopping how we need it to, and just generally better in every which way. It's been a cracking day. Taz, I guess, to start from the beginning, we got on the bike, we rode it, following Chris's work back at the workshop, taking a bit of weight off and getting rid of that ABS.
Yeah, it was a big step forward in my opinion, just that initial grab of into fast corners like turn 1, you're never hard on the brakes for a long time, so just having that initial bite on the brake and being able to just have that little bit more stopping power and allow you to go into those faster corners, it was a big benefit in my opinion.
We started off basically taking the standard system minus the ABS and running that through just with some Hell brake lines, and then Chris very kindly put on a Hell master cylinder as well.
Here we've put a Hell billet master cylinder on. We're not saying there's anything wrong with the standard one. Obviously in Superstock, in championships all over the world, you've got to run standard master cylinder. But this is just gives you more options with leverage, piston size, feel, adjustment, and it's just a more performance derived.
I don't know whether it's the piston size or just the components within it, but just felt there's more purchase again. I mean, the brakes were really consistent and powerful, and probably not as good as what you've got on your superbike, but everything that you would need on a track club racing bike. Yeah,
100%. For instance, end of the back straight, when the ABS was there on the bike, if you outbraked yourself that little bit more, you felt like you didn't have much room for error.
Yeah.
Whereas now, with that extra bite, just that last little bit of pullback you can have on the brake can really sort of make or break your day if you were to make a mistake. So the general feel of just trailing the brake, you do that a lot here at Cadwell, into that real tight chicane before the mountain. It's just nice having that extra bit of stopping power really, and more feel in your hand.
So the bike's really coming on point now. We've got it braking exactly how we want it, so we're going to start addressing the handling of the package. So it's one of those things I would have never thought about, but Taz has suggested putting on a GYTR race seat, the same as what he uses on his superbike. So it basically sits a little bit higher, pitches you forward a little bit more, and angles you in a racier position. It's one of those things that would probably never even come onto my radar, but Taz is convinced it makes a huge difference to the riding position and your riding competence in the corners. So we're going to get it on, we're going to go out and see exactly what difference it makes.
Yeah, for me, having that standard road seat is fine on a road, but taking it to a track, it just, as I mentioned before, with the change of direction, It's hard to grip onto the bike. I'm a smaller rider and I put a lot of weight through the peg, so having that change of direction is really important, but with that slippy seat it can sometimes unsettle you. A couple of times my feet came off the pegs when changing direction just because it's not very grippy, so instantly putting that seat unit on, it lifted my body position up a little bit more just over the front of the bike, which helped on the corner entry with a bit more weight on the front as well. So as I said yesterday, I was riding my superbike, so to come here, ride a slippy seat and then put that on it straight away, it was a massive benefit for me, and I think you noticed it as well.
Yeah, I did. I mean, it was kind of, again, one of those things I probably wouldn't have even thought about, but definitely more grip, definitely the angle of attack, if you like. You know, it did force you over the front of the bike, which was better, as you say, even for corner entry. Just poised you in that right position, gave me more confidence and more feel of what was going on at the front as well. So yeah, it's one of those changes that has been a pleasant surprise, really. I guess is the best way to sum it up.
So all the way through this build, we've kind of put parts on the bike that are 100 quid here, 100 quid there. Haven't really spent a massive amount of money so far, but that's all going to change now because we are putting on some really fancy OHLINS suspension. It's the road and track product that we're fitting. We've got a TTX shock at the rear, and we've got these great billet forks with their special track orientated cartridges that are going to make the bike handle amazingly. Well, that is once we've gone and dialed it in. But for now, let's put the base settings in, so we're going to go out, ride it, and see how it is.
Okay, so we're on with the rear suspension. I've just bust all my knuckles, taking this out, the original suspension from Yamaha. So the reason we're changing this is a generic shock. It's designed to be capable to take any type of riding, from nipping to the shops to track days, 1 up, 2 up. Whereas this has been designed with racing in mind. You've got a lot more angles for adjustment, less fade, and it looks trick.
If you think about a road bike, it's made for being on the road with potholes and speed bumps, and it's quite soft really, and the adjustments you can do is good on a standard bike, but if you want to go that next step, trying to improve your lap times on a track day or whatever, then putting these forks and shocking is a massive benefit. I think we both noticed the differences straight away. It is a little bit more money to upgrade it, but if you want to go that extra step and you can afford it, then it's definitely worth doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that suspension, yeah, it's great having a really powerful bike, but if your bike doesn't handle, yeah, what's the point in that? And I did notice, you know, I think we both noticed a few times on track today with the setup, it didn't matter what kind of tweaks we did with the standard units. A couple of corners in particular, I was feeling the bike just running wide, just under supported, and I think that for me, that's just raised the bike's handling credentials and capabilities in general to a whole new level.
Yeah, 100%. The standard road bike turns really well, but putting that extra Swedish gold in, it definitely made a difference. Cadwell as a track is quite narrow, so there's not a lot of room for error, so if you can get your bike to turn just that bit better, then it can make your life a lot easier, and I noticed that straight away with putting the OHLINS in.
Yeah, so again, whole load of great improvements made to the bike today, and it kind of teases up nicely for what's coming next. So we're coming back, round 3, Taz is coming back, even if he says he's not getting a choice this time. But we are coming back, and the plan is to address the performance of the bike. So Chris has got a load of great parts that are going to improve the power and the electronics of the R1, and you know, he'll explain them when we come back for part 3. But what I know is right now we've got a cracking bike, it's stopping well, it's handling well, we're ready for that next level.